Hello, my loves. Dina here from No Fear, Just Flow. So, I talk a lot about healing from childhood trauma because I think that it's really important to understand that as adults, we are pretty much a mix of what we went through in childhood and how much healing we've done. And maybe you didn't go through a lot in childhood, and so you are an adult who does not have trauma, who lives a life of ease, who lives a life of happiness. I, however, did go through a lot of trauma. And as a result, I decided to do a lot of healing because I don't want to be a person that is out in the world harming people or blaming people or using my trauma to live a life of sadness or live a life of dis-ease or discomfort. And I think that that's what happens. I think a lot of times people either mentally or physically get sick because they don't want to do their healing. So I do believe that you have to heal from your trauma in all ways, and that means that it's a mind, body, soul healing. And so for my body, I do a lot of fasting. I do a lot of eating of very healthy foods, and I try to nourish my body as much as possible. I'm a detox specialist and I know about how to clean out the body. And so I do a lot of that. And for my mind, I just spend a lot of time with wonderful people listening to things that help me feel better in general. My dog likes to interrupt. And, I like Dr. Gabor. I listened to a lot of law of attraction when I was first really going through my healing. I read the book The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, which changed my life. Joe Dispenza. There are lots of people that help me get my mind right. But for my soul, those are the things that I really enjoy doing. So this week alone, I sat in an inipi, and that is a sweat lodge, a native ceremony where you sit and you release. This one specifically was for releasing things back to Mother Gaia, back to Mother Earth. And it's a beautiful, beautiful ceremony done by beautiful people. I went to a sound healing that was done by a woman who had a very unique less is more type of experience. There was music and her singing, and it was beautiful, soulful, almost euphoric. I yesterday did almost like a shamanic releasing ceremony. That was a one-on-one session where I actually had a bowl set on me, a singing bowl, and I released so much. I did a lot of somatic releasing because I feel like although I don't have demonic presence in me and I don't have darkness in me, I have like flying monkeys around me, if that makes sense. Wizard of Oz reference. If you're younger, I've never seen that. And so I really wanted to get rid of that. And I feel like today is the second day of being in the age of Aquarius, where it's going to be a little bit lighter, but we're still shedding some of the darkness of what we've just gone through. And so for me, that 2-hour session was a shedding. And so I drank cacao. I'm going to a cacao ceremony this week. I just do a lot to feel better. I take my health very seriously, not just physically, mentally, soulfully, because I know that I enjoy being here on earth and I want to enjoy the process, and that the more healing I do, that not only am I being a better role model for my children and giving them a safer space to land, but I'm healing generational trauma both up and down the ladder, if that makes sense. I talked about that yesterday, about how history is in our minds only. And so when we repeat it over and over again, and I'm guilty of that, then it still continues to live. And so it's almost like you have to let it go. but you can't just say it's gone. You have to do work to let it go. And so if anybody tells you to let go of your trauma and just pretend it didn't happen, they don't understand that that's not an easy thing to do. And so you have to transmute it. You have to lessen the pain of it. You need to go in and go back to those experiences and create a different outcome, or create them a little bit differently, and really journaling and transmuting the pain. It helps. And when you do that, it really heals trauma from the past. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it does. And when you heal your generational trauma from the past, you open up new doorways for the next generations. So I like to believe that if I'm blessed with grandchildren, that I've done so much healing that my daughters will also experience that healing, and that they're going to be amazing mothers. They're going to break even more cycles than I broke. And I will be able to be there for their grandchildren in a way that I wasn't able to be there for them because I was traumatized. So I hope all of that makes sense. I'm just here doing the healing and giving people ideas. So the most important thing for me is to have no fear and just flow. Know that God is with us. Pray, have faith, get out there and love your life and try new things. Let your ego die a little bit. That's what I did yesterday. Mwah.